Welcome to Bobcats Want to Know.
Hello, everybody. I'm Avanicia, and I'm here with my classmate Javen Frank. And today we have Officer Ader and Officer
It's okay, Sergeant Waltmeyer. We're good. We're good.
Sergeant
We're good.
Waltermeyer. Sorry about that.
You're fine.
Okay. On today's topic, we're going to talk about school safety, parking lot safety, and drug usage in our schools.
We were wondering what are some of the measures in place to ensure the school or the safety of the students and staff in our school?
Well, there's quite a few in place. Obviously, number one is you have a school resource officer, which spends a lot of time in your school. The school district has safety measures in place in nowadays that students have to follow, shelter in place, lockdown, and it's a shame that you guys have to grow up having to do this stuff, but it's needed in this day now. The staff is trained in a lot of ways to be observant, and anytime you see a policeman in your school, you probably see them talking all the time. But while they're doing that, they're observing what's going on around at all times. So safety measures. You also have Cliff down here. He's the district safety coordinator. It's our goal at the Bloomfield Police Department to make sure that you kids, the students in this school, have a safe environment to learn in and have a good time here. That's our goal. Do you have anything to add to that, Sergeant?
The big thing that we worked on when I was the SRO here was also the ergonomics of the school. Trees cut up, bushes cut low. Good plane of view, good sight views. The man trap is a new one, right? So when you come in, you have to go to. It's called a man trap. You have to check in here. So you just don't have free access. Nobody that comes to Bloomfield High School should be able just to walk around campus. The big thing is the buy-in from the students, the staff, everybody that's involved with Bloomfield. The side doors, they are very convenient.
Very
Convenient. They're easy. Everybody uses them. I use them. But it takes away the integrity of something, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You have a ship with a hole in it, it's going to sink, right? You got to think of this as our ship. We're going in and out this door for a purpose. It's not to make things more complicated or difficult. It's to keep our ship tight, right?
Yeah, and that's understandable.
Yeah, that's our goal. Our goal is always as
especially
safe
with
as possible.
School shootings. Like you hear other stories from other schools around the country and everywhere else that the doors that's the biggest
Yes.
that's the biggest problem is people are going in through side doors or doors being propped open just all over the place.
Yes.
So that's definitely a problem.
We have to have the buy-in from the students because everybody's done it. Everybody's propped open that door for their friend to come in.
Right.
It takes seconds for something to happen. So the whole purpose of that front door is to keep it on everybody that comes through our building.
Exactly.
So I'm glad you brought that up and you're aware of it because it's an issue,
Yeah.
an ongoing issue. But we look for that stuff. And when you guys see a prop door, I know you want to help your friends and everything, but when you see one, shut it, in my opinion. I'd close it. Okay?
Yeah.
Especially if you're just walking down the hallway and you see a door propped up and it looks all suspicious.
Yeah. It does. Right?
Yeah.
Alrighty, on to the next. Are you satisfied with the school safety policies at our school?
Yes and no. We have good policy.
Do you feel that we could take more extreme measures towards those policies?
We could, but for every positive, there's a negative.
Right.
And we don't want you kids. I think I speak for a lot of people to come to this building and think in the back of your mind, this looks like a jail or a prison. See, I know the district don't want that, and I don't think anybody wants it. But now, as far as improvement, there could always be improvement to school safety issues, no matter how good they are. It's to me, say we have all these policies on paper. What I call that is a living document. Okay, it's alive because it can be improved constantly. Okay, so I hope that answers your question there.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
So, what do you think of our student parking lot? Like, do you think do you think there
Okay.
could be some changes? You know,
There could be some changes there because to be truthful with you, it's not a safe place at noon. Okay, it's not safe for pedestrians,
yeah,
and I've seen some, to be honest, some stupid stuff out there that doesn't have to happen. There again, I think the students need to be educated on a safer manner with their vehicles and how they leave. Okay? Now, on the other hand, see, for every positive, there's a negative.
Right.
yeah.
How many minutes do we have between when the last bell rings until you get back here on campus?
Like about 40, I
Okay?
believe. Yeah.
All right.
Like 45
now,
minutes.
In that 40 minutes, what if you are in the North Gym or in the 500 or 600 wing? You have 40 minutes to get up, leave your class, secure your stuff, walk across this school, walk across the parking lot, get in your car, leave. There's always a line.
Mm-hmm.
Leave, go somewhere, get your food. If you buy it, you have to order it. It takes time. See, I understand why kids get in a hurry out here because you're on a timetable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that. See, but we shouldn't put our safety at risk
Yeah.
because of a timetable. See,
Yeah. I've seen lots of like I heard accidents that happen in the parking lot all the time, and
yes,
I'm pretty sure that's a big problem for you guys.
it is.
Um,
Yeah.
You guys are a lot of inexperienced drivers. Most of
Yeah.
those people in that parking lot, they have like 1 or 2 years driving experience.
Or
You are
less.
yeah, or less. You get better with experience,
Yes.
right? You learn, you get
Yeah.
better with experience. Even with experience, you shouldn't be doing that. But with less experience, you really should be going slower.
Yeah.
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 Do you think, like, sometimes I'll see Officer Ader sitting in his, like, little patrol car right there at the exit of the parking lot. Do you think that students drive differently when you're around?
They
like,
do.
watching? They do?
They do.
You can see that?
Yes, yes, they do. And at times I even get out of my unit and help direct them. And that helps. But yes, they you can see that they drive differently when one of us is sitting there.
Oh, I figured so. I haven't really seen it for myself. Like, I haven't really paid attention, but there are some crazy drivers, and pretty much people just, no one wants to let anybody in or, like, make
Yes.
space or, like, be patient. Again, it's like the time thing, We
Yep.
have so much time for lunch and everyone just wants to go, get what they need and be able to come back in time, and half the time people don't even come back on time. They come back late. And,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And other factors involved in stuff like that is they get in their cars, turn their music up. They can't really hear what's going on around them when they
Right.
leave. So
Being reckless.
yep.
Or are there any things that you see that might be dangerous? Like
Like, what do you see the most of?
yeah.
Addressing like motor vehicles. Or,
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
just aggressive driving.
Really?
It's yes, very aggressive driving in the south parking lot.
Do you think our pedestrians are also reckless, like that they don't pay attention enough, or they're not aware of what's in front of them, what's
Absolutely.
behind them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have to do the traffic grant program for Bloomfield, and I have to accumulate numbers. The number one cause of accidents in the city of Bloomfield is driver inattention. And these are things that you guys could look up if you go to UNM crash data. They will show you everything laid out from age to male or female to when it occurred, days, times. A lot of it is, male drivers between the ages of 17 and 24, and driver inattention is the number one thing.
All right. Moving on. Do you think there's a drug problem in our school? Like what type of drugs have you seen? Like, are there a lot of students using or?
There's a drug problem in the world.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
It's worldwide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there drugs in your school?
Yes.
Then it's a
Everywhere.
problem.
Yeah.
Then it's a problem, right? The goal is always zero. Our main goal is zero. If it's even 1%, it's a problem. It's a problem. You know, our goal is zero drugs in the school.
And it's in every high school in this country. There's an issue. Okay. And of course, there's a lot of variables involved in that. Okay, we just had the legalization of marijuana
Oh, yeah.
here
Right.
recently. Okay, that affects our school
I agree.
because it's more easily obtained.
It's easier to get a hold of, and it's definitely distributed a lot
Yep.
throughout, like, you know, people who have this this like way of getting it, and you know, either the right way or the wrong, and they do distribute it to like students or like kids, and you know, people who just shouldn't have it, and you do see it a lot. But do you think that people ignore the fact that, you know, adults are giving drugs to children?
There are some people that do ignore it.
Do you think parents do it the most though?
I believe that there are some parents that do.
That
Yeah.
enable it.
Yeah.
It's hard not to.
They're enabling bad behavior.
Okay, what are some ways to prevent the drug usage?
Well, that's
That's an age-old question.
yes.
What are
Yeah.
ways? For years, you know, if we could find the answer, I promise I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd probably be sitting someplace on a beach. You'd make some money if you knew.
Right.
It's
Education.
it's education and buy-in from the family unit.
Do you think it has to do with like the environment, like exactly like your family? Like if someone around you is using, then you're most likely to use.
That's a factor, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and the ease of obtaining this stuff. Now it's legal. See, this stuff is bought in stores and brought to the home, and a lot of times it's not secured. Okay,
Right.
so if it's just sitting on the counter, this legal stuff for an adult, or sitting on a dresser or sitting somewhere unsecured, it is legal for that adult, but it's illegal for the juvenile student to get
Yeah.
and bring to school.
So a lot of the time, drugs aren't really drugs anymore, right? Most of the time, they're laced with like per se fentanyl. Fentanyl is really a bad thing around here, and everywhere else, really, because you know you hear kids overdosing on fentanyl because they don't know what they're taking, and they don't know that it's in there, and half the time, kids don't even really know where they're getting it from.
And that's true. That's a true statement. And fentanyl is a major problem in the United States of America. It comes across our southern borders freely. It's not. It's of course they catch some of it, not all of it. There's big quantities that come into this country now, and you're right. It's mixed with other drugs now, and the people that are dying of it have no idea exactly what they're taking, and that's how they take these lethal doses that take their life.
So, on a personal note, hypothetically, if a student were to overdose or get this sort of like fentanyl into their system, as a police officer, how does that make you feel?
Well,
Like in your moment, you know, you have a kid that's overdosed on fentanyl. He's, you know, you can't tell if he's unconscious or not. Like, and besides your like policy, like all the things that you have to go through, you know, to get this kid like to safety and make sure that he's okay, and you know all that. Like deep down, like, does it scare you?
sure it does. It's heartbreaking. It's to see a person in the beginning of their life, the beginning of their, career, their life. It's heartbreaking. Now there's things that the public safety sector has. We've tried to keep pace with it, and there's things that that we carry with us, and your school does too, to save lives in instances like that. Yeah. So your public safety sector is trying to save as many people as we can.
Right. How do you think this reflects on our community?
It's a negative reflection on any community, and people are misinformed, I think, in a lot of ways. I've had people ask me, well, how are the drugs in Aztec? And I live in Aztec. And my answer to people that ask me that question is drugs are everywhere in society. And they are. To tell you that they're not is essentially telling you a lie. What we have to do is make the conscious choice not to use them. So to me, it's a scourge on our nation. It's a scourge on the world, because people are dying of fentanyl overdoses in other countries also. See, and just look at some of the streets in our bigger cities. So it's terrible. It's a scourge.
Well, thanks for sharing school safety with us.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about our topics today?
The Bloomfield Police is committed to the safety of you young students, and we take our job very seriously. We know that we can't be in lockdown 24 hours a day. You guys have to be able to move around and come indoors and stuff. But I want everybody to understand that the Bloomfield Police and any law enforcement agency in the area takes school safety very, very serious. Okay. I can say this: any human being that comes on any campus with a weapon, their day is going to go very badly for them. And as far as law enforcement, we will eliminate any threat with any weapon in our schools very swiftly and very decisively. We take the safety of our students very serious. Okay.
Thank you. As a student, I'm proud to say that I am very thankful for you guys to be here and protecting us and making sure that everything's okay on a daily basis.
Thank you.
Well, we're thankful to have you guys here. You guys protect
you.
our community. You guys do your job very, very well. I think that you guys are perfect for what you do. So, thank you for joining us on our podcast.
What do you want to do when you get older?
We'll see. I'm still in that boat of thinking,
I don't even know
I
what
don't
I want
know.
to do for college yet.
Yeah.
That's good.
But yeah, we're gonna wrap this up, and thank you for joining us, Officer
Yes, thank you
Ader
for being
and
here.
Officer
Sergeant Waltermeyer.
Walter Meyer. Yeah.
It's okay.
I
it's
forgot
hard.
it too,
It's
so
all
that's
right.
why.
It's all right.
Thank
It's
you
all
for
right.
having us.
Thank you.
Anytime, we'll come back.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you.